Hello, everybody. This is the Chocolate News Podcast. I'm John Alexander Reese.
And I'm Morgan Angelique Owens.
And if you didn't know, the Cincinnati Herald has been around since 1955 and is the leading African American owned newspaper in the greater Cincinnati area and northern Kentucky area. Today, we have with us our digital correspondent, Andria Carter. How's it going, Andria?
Fine, John. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So, Andria, what's the chocolate news of the week?
Well, I think the most exciting thing that we have going on this week is the Bearcats are going to be playing against Alabama in the Cotton Bowl for the semi-playoffs. And I think that is fantastic. I can't believe the Bearcats are even going up against Alabama. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. I'm quite surprised because I knew, UC was good, but I didn't think they'd be this good.
I think they're the first team in a while to do this. I mean, the first Bearcat team in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has been disappointed for so long, with the Bearcats. I mean, even when I attended UC before I switched schools because I wanted something different, I've always been a Bearcat fan. It's been undercover because, they have been a little disappointing over the years, especially the football team. Basketball team, fantastic. Football team, it's been a long time coming. And this year, they have knocked it out of the park. I mean, playing against Notre Dame, just being unbeaten all season, the fact that they're coming out as number 4, even though ESPN, the college football reps, one guy was saying they should have even been 2 or 3 because they had a fantastic season, but they ended up as 4. This is history making for the Bearcats, and it's just fantastic. I can't speak enough of it. I'm very excited. I will be watching that game.
They're the first non-Power 5 conference team ever in the college football playoffs, so that's quite the accomplishment.
Well, I mean, and I think just think how long the power teams have held on to the top spots to play in the playoffs. I mean, it's been a disservice to fans, but also has been a service to fans because just think of what the teams had to do to elevate their playing to get there. So for once we have a top spot, I mean, you just had to, think greater than what you have been doing. And what the Bearcats have done in the past on the football field has been okay, and they've come close, but never this close before. And I know a lot of people are going, oh my God, it's Alabama. We have to play Alabama. Why can't we play somebody else? But you know what? You can't grow if you don't go against the top dog. And if they take down Alabama or if they come within a few points of Alabama, I ain't mad at them.
Yeah.
That just gives us hope for next year. So, I'm very excited and very pleased. And I just can't wait for that December 31st game. I will be watching.
Yeah, I know. Even though I'm not the biggest football fan, I will also be watching too. And I'm just so proud of the Bearcats because, I think it was last season they went 9-0 because it was like a short season because of COVID.
Oh yeah. I think that we are seeing the beginnings of what's been a long time coming in terms of getting the top athletes to come to UC, getting the coaches to elevate and not just accept. And, I think we're coming into our own on the football field. The basketball teams have made a name for themselves for the longest time. And it's just now starting to get everything else to come and meet that high level of playing. And I think it's fantastic.
Exactly. Another good thing to come with the University of Cincinnati Bearcats is that their coach, Luke Fickell, was named National Coach of the Year on Tuesday. So that is also fantastic.
I ain't mad at him. He has done something that no one else has been able to do with the Bearcats. And, I admire a coach who ignored the odds and just said, we're going to do this. And instilled that into the minds and made his players believers that they are champions and they could do this. I mean, that takes a lot of mental agility to get players to think that way and be that way. and gain the confidence, not just off the field, but on the field, and to be able to show that. And I think that you've seen the players grow over time. And, from the players of the past, the players now, you just see that mindset, how that growth has occurred, how the college has believed in it, and everyone has just said, we're going to do this, and they're doing it. I don't think any Bearcat fan is really thinking any negative thoughts right now, and I think Fickle is like, I'm sure he's overrun with flowers and chocolate boxes and chocolate Santas and anything else that anyone can give him to say, oh my God, congratulations. So
Yeah, that's great. Now, do you think Fickle's going to leave after this season? Because wasn't there rumors that he was supposed to go to Notre Dame? Well, I know another coach went to Notre Dame, but do you think he's going to leave like immediately? Because we've seen that before, like coaches like move on to like a bigger team. Do you think he's going to leave anytime soon?
no, I think he's going to make his mark here. He's turning the Bearcats into a top 5 team. And I think next year his goal is probably going to be make it a number 2 team. Shoot for number 1 and see where we fall. But as long as we stay in the top 5 or whatever, we're going to be a top tier team that we're going to be a name. I mean, people, it's Duke, Michigan, Alabama, Iowa. Those names are synonymous with football. And I think finally the Bearcats will start to get that recognition as a football team, but also a football name. And I think he's going to grow that brand and be that. And I think he's going to stay around for a while unless someone can just offer him something pie in the sky that you just can't say no to. I think he's going to stick around for a while. Really, because I think he's going to be able to write his own ticket here than anywhere else.
I didn't go to UC, but still living in Cincinnati and like having all this national press and everything for a college football program, it does make you excited.
Oh yeah, it does. I mean, as someone who I've always supported the Bearcats, I always believed in the Bearcats. I'm not a big Ohio State fan. I know my family, my other relatives will shoot me because I'm not the Ohio State fan, but I do watch the game. But I've always been a Bearcat fan. There's just been something about, I always liked the underdog, and I always saw the Bearcats as an underdog. And now the underdog is becoming a top dog. And I'm just like, I'm going to continue my alliance with them because I believe in them, and I think they're going to go all the way. And I think Fickle's going to do it. I think he's going to make them an award-winning team, for years to come.
And moving on to the another story, the Emmett Till investigation has been officially closed by the DOJ, and there are no new charges. Andrea, what are your thoughts on this sad story?
I think it's sad because everyone suspected the woman lied. She won't admit that she lied. The family knows that she lied, but we can't prove it. And I think at this point, it's sort of sad to think that a young Black man lost his life over what somebody said without any evidence, and he was beaten and killed. And I thought it was brave of his mother to show his body on open up the casket to show everyone what was done to him. There are historical markers which to this day are being shot at by passerbys every once in a while, which is a shame. That people think ill of it, because if you have done wrong, you need to live up to it and admit it, and admit that the outcome of that wrong does impact people's lives, but just accept it and then say, okay, this happened. This is our history. There are a lot of people out there who don't want to admit, what was wrong was wrong. Some people believe it was okay. I'm sure there's a lot of people who want to go back to that time period. And I would just say that when people lie, there has been enough cases in modern time that have been reversed of men accused of doing something and then proven that they didn't do it. I think it's sad. We all know that racism, the intensity of racism has caused a lot of men to lose their lives or lose a large amount of life because they've been in jail. And I think it's kind of sad to think so many wrongs have occurred. Emmett Till is one of them. But I think in the end, in a long time, we have an America who half believe in what is right, and you have a half who believe that white is right. And so we're sitting on a precipice in this country of which way are we going to go? What do you believe in the most? You got a guy who wants to be president again for the morally wrong reasons to destroy this democracy so he can be in power. And there are people who want to believe in that crap. And then there are those who are in power now who are trying to do right. I think we have a long way to go as a country of how do we survive this? How do we survive this effort to destroy what is known? Now they don't want to admit history. They don't want to be blamed for what they did in the past. And you know what? They fear what our reaction will be if they lose power, what the reaction is going to be. And I'm like, what if there's no reaction? What if there is, you know what, you did wrong, admit it, move on, we're going to get our own. Don't worry about whatever. There's so many people who want to hang on to what they feel is correct that they're in the process of losing their power in many different ways. And the ramifications of it, we don't know what the impact's going to be of this time period. The impact from Emmett Till spurred a community who fought for civil rights, who fought for freedom, who fought for justice. And we're still fighting for justice today. And I just don't know, where do we go from here? Because unfortunately, the Black community understands what happened in the past can be repeated again. And at the same time, we also know how to pivot and how to stand our ground as things continue to try to change. So I only have high hopes for us and high hopes for this country that we can move past this and become a stronger and better country than what we have been in the past.
I certainly hope so, because I think a lot of folks just think the whole Emmett Till thing, it just happened a long, long time ago. But it was just about maybe 60, 65 years ago. That was not a long time ago. My mind is blown when people think like the 50s and 60s were just such a long time ago, and that race relations, that, just a thing of the past. And it's like, it's just as bad as ever, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just really sad that people just like to pretend like it was just such a long time ago, like the 19th or 18th century, which also wasn't that long ago either. I think people forget that the United States is a young country compared to like all the other countries in the world. Our history is relatively like new history. So, we're still dealing with all of these race problems, and we're going to be dealing with them for, years and decades and maybe centuries to come. So it's a problem. And I just hope that people don't forget about the case of Emmett Till.
As this new generation comes up, we have a lot more people who live in a diverse world and who are more accepting. Then there are those who don't like diversity and would prefer to just, keep things a certain way. But you know what? The history of man has proven that the more diverse you are, the better off you are. But you know what? We forgot to mention one thing.
Oh, what is that?
The SWAC championship game's coming up too.
Oh, that's right.
You know what? I totally forgot to mention when we're talking about the Bearcats. We forgot about Jackson State and Deion Sanders.
That's right.
And what he has done for, Jackson State, he's turned them into an award-winning football team. They are now going to go on to the SWAC championship game. They're going to play in Atlanta, I believe, and they are going to. I think that game is going to be over Christmas or around New Year's.
I believe they're going to play SC State.
That's it.
And it's going to be on Saturday, December 18th at noon.
I think it's going to be exciting. I think we have something to look forward to. The Jackson State fans or HBCU fans have something to look forward to for the creme de la creme football season for them. And then for the Bearcats playing against Alabama at the end of on December 31st, I think we're in for a world of good football for the next, 2 weekends to come. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, that's it for the news section of this episode. So we'll switch it over to Morgan Angelique Owens, where she'll enlighten us with some beauty, lifestyle, and culture. So take it away, Morgan.
All right. Well, thank you, John. Well, this week I am super, super excited to be talking with the ladies of HerMD. I have Rachel and Donna with me. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys read my blog, I've even talked about it on the podcast before. I am always down for some luxury self-care. And that's exactly what I call getting treatments like Botox, laser hair removal, new procedures that people might not know about that we'll get into, fillers, I mean, all that good stuff. I am here for it, honey. And I'm definitely here for minority women getting these treatments. And it's not taboo. We're going to break down some myths. So I just want to welcome Rachel and Donna to the podcast. Hello, ladies.
Hi, thanks, Morgan. Thanks for having us.
Yes. So you ladies work at HerMD, which I absolutely love. One, because it's a women-owned business, but second of all, it's a minority-owned women business. So can you guys briefly introduce yourself and just tell us how long you've been with HerMD and why?
Hi, I am Donna Abdelnour. I am a nurse practitioner. I have been with HerMD since the creation, since day one. I do gynecologic care, women's health half the time, then the aesthetic injector the other half of the time.
So my name is Rachel Fisher-Munoz. I'm a family nurse practitioner, and I've been with HerMD since we opened our Kentucky location at the end of April. But I've been doing this stuff for years. I've just been with the HerMD family, and so happy to be there. I love empowering women and love the group of women that I get to work with. It's amazing.
Yes, thank you. So, and for people who aren't familiar with HerMD, either Donna or Rachel, do you just want to briefly explain what all you guys do at both locations?
I'll let the OG take care of that one.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. We are all about women's health inside and out. On the women's health medical side, we specialize in gynecology, menopause, sexual health. And then on the medical spa side, we specialize in aesthetic injections, fillers, the neuromodulators, the lasers, the quo, the facials, and the chemical peels. We pretty much do it all under one roof.
I love it. I love it. And I've recently had the opportunity to start getting some treatments there starting back in October, starting with, oh my goodness, my journey to laser hair removal. So just a little backstory for all the listeners. I have been interested in laser hair removal for a couple of years now because, I mean, anytime that us women can save shaving, I mean, sign me up, right? So I went somewhere and I was actually told I could not get it done because of my skin, the pigment in my skin. It wouldn't, one, take, but two, it could damage my skin. So I thought that was really, disheartening. And I even posted a question on Facebook recently about, would you get laser hair done? And a lot of minority women had commented that they were turned away with trying laser hair. So I was super excited to learn that HerMD had a laser for me. So I don't know, Rachel, since you are my fairy laser mother, helping me through my journey, do you want to just talk about that a little bit, about laser hair and like the laser you guys have over there?
Yeah, definitely. So we have a laser that is suitable for all skin types. So we definitely have two different hand pieces. Depending on your skin type on the Fitzgerald scale, then or Fitzpatrick scale, I'm sorry, then we would decide which laser we'd use. So again, you're a little darker skin type, so am I. And this laser is safe to use as long as you have dark hair. Obviously, we're cautious with any laser because we don't want to cause any damage to the skin. But technology has come a long way, and there's different wavelengths and a lot of science behind the lasers, but now there are different wavelengths that can target darker skin types, because usually it's attracted to melanin. So there's more melanin in darker skin types. So we don't want it to be attracted to the surface of the skin because we're really targeting that, the root, the hair follicle. And that's why I think probably in the past there's been those myths that you can't treat darker skin types, because that was true early on in lasers. But now as science has evolved, there are lasers that can target and do laser hair removal for darker skin types. So it's very safe, very effective. Obviously, we're very cautious with any skin type, but yeah, we have both lasers. They both are very effective, pretty painless. I think, Morgan, you would say. So yeah, I think everybody would love to save time in the shower and not have to shave. So it's a great treatment for anyone.
Yeah, I agree. Laser hair is one of those things that I didn't think I would ever care about. I'm like, I have to shave. It takes me 2 minutes. It's not a big deal. But actually not having to shave is very liberating.
Yes.
On vacation right now.
Yeah.
You're right. But both of you, like, not all lasers are created equally. So you have to make sure that the one that you're using is safe for all skin types.
Right. No, I definitely agree with you, Donna. Before I was like, yeah, I can just shave or, use Nair or whatever. But I think when you get older, like any life hack, sign me up. I don't care if it saves me 5 minutes. I will take it. I am tired of shaving every other day and having to worry about that. So I totally agree. Totally.
But a lot of people do it for folliculitis and for, for other issues too, for ingrown hairs and infection. So for them, it's really important. But just for those of us who just don't feel like doing it, it's actually really great too.
Right. First world problems, but I'll take it.
Right. Agreed. And it's actually used a lot for people on the unwanted facial hair. That's very common in women, especially with hormonal changes. Yeah. And that can be life-changing.
No, that's true.
To not have to worry about plucking and shaving your face every day and just, trying to hide that. That can really be life-changing for someone who's in that situation and just has some unwanted hair that's on their face. Because it's very normal in women. It's just not talked about much.
No, that's a great point. Anything to help, boost that confidence, that self-esteem, feeling self-conscious about, a certain, area, going into that power meeting and I have to worry about are people, looking at my chin hair or people looking at this or that. So that's very important as well. Totally. And then if everyone wants to check out, my experience so far, you can head to my blog. And I think it's even up on HerMD's blog, I think, so far. So make sure you guys check that out. And at the end of the podcast, we'll let you know how to follow up with HerMD and read all about it as well. So, and then I have started getting quo treatments because summer booties are made in the wintertime, right? So who wants to talk about what this magical quo is?
Oh, I think either of us can. Both of us have been doing it. Quo is, for those who don't know, it's the first non-surgical treatment to reduce cellulite, specifically in buttocks and posterior thighs, but mostly it's FDA approved for buttocks. But it's really a pretty amazing product. The collagenase is the enzyme that's used, and it's for cellulite specifically. And cellulite happens when as we age, our skin thins. The fat cells start to enlarge, and then they start pushing towards the top. And then those fibrous bands that hold the two upper and lower dermal layers get tightened. So it creates these little dimples, right? So the enzyme works by just going in there and breaking up those fibrous bands and then stimulating the growth of the collagen. So it's really pretty fascinating how it works. And it's such an easy treatment. Most people do 3 treatments about 3 weeks apart. And it's been really amazing. There's been even several phase 2 clinical studies that have been out, and their results are very impressive.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see mine. I've had 2 done so far. So, and for me, I'm not, that self-conscious about my cellulite, but I know a lot of women are, and, I will humbly be that guinea pig for people that want to do something that's less invasive, less harmful than, some underground products. But, for me also, I take a lot of pictures in the line of work that I do. So, and I'm all for, anything to make you feel good, look good, I'm here for. So I'm excited to see my results.
How are your results so far?
I I haven't really taken like a real good close look at my booty. I should ask Rachel since she's seen it more than me lately.
It actually did look better. We just did your second treatment, what, this week?
Yes. Yep, on Monday. So the bruising, I will say, isn't as bad as the first round. So I will say it's getting progressively better on that end. So, but I'm
Well,
super
that's
excited to see after the final round how I'll start to look.
Yes, we will definitely take a peek at your photos. But the good thing about it is there's no downtime really. Maybe a little bit of soreness. The bruising's probably the worst. It lasts, what did you say, Morgan, about a week? It was the worst.
Yeah, like a little over a week. But I would say, like I said, like I looked at my bruising even yesterday and it wasn't as bad as like the first time. So, so I think
we tell people to expect bruising. That is definitely a thing with Crow. You will like expect it, and then you're not going to be shocked by it. But it's pretty impressive bruising.
Yes, it is.
Impressive bruising.
But the results have been really amazing as far as reduction of cellulite, and for a 10-minute procedure that you're in and out on, it's really a great option for people.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
No downtime, a little bruising. So this is a perfect time to do it because we're all covered up anyways.
Right. So as I said, it's winter time for the summer booty. So I'm ready. I'll be ready.
You will be ready.
Yes.
I'm surprised though how many people have commented that I expected it during the bathing suit time of year, but so many people say that they look better in their leggings, in their yoga clothes, and that I was surprised by the amount of people that were so happy about just having with clothes how much better they looked and felt.
That's true. Leggings are definitely still in, and you're right, it shows everything. So
so it helps with even like the smoothness of your butt,
right? Specifically that.
Oh well, look, I'm looking forward to it. So,
and more than not, it a lot of people that have cellulite, it's not a weight thing. A lot of people that are really, really thin have a lot of cellulite too. It's just very genetic, and it's really bothersome for people that work out and eat healthy and they do all the things that are right, and then they still have the cellulite. So it's been a great option that people have been really happy about.
No, yeah, and I'm sure my audience is going to be super excited to read all about it, especially when I post. So I'm sure
we're excited to see yours.
Questions. Yes, I am. I'm excited. And then, another treatment that we did for National Botox Day, like I've been getting Botox for years. I started getting them for my migraines to help. And then I just love the way it made my forehead look smooth. And at first, I was cautious of getting Botox because we hear all these horror stories about, people overdoing it and then their face doesn't move. Or, it's not for minority women. So does anyone just want to touch upon, breaking down those stereotypes, and especially tell people that you don't have to get Botox in your 40s and 50s. Like you can start early for preventative care. Because I think that's another, myth that you start getting Botox when you get wrinkles.
Right. Absolutely. So I always tell everybody, everyone's a candidate for Botox. You can do it when you're younger, in your 20s, to prevent wrinkles. If you've waited until your 40s, 50s, you already have wrinkles that are there. You can do Botox to really soften those wrinkles. So I really think it's for everybody, all skin types, all ethnicities, because you're right. For me, I think now the big push is to try to do it preventatively when you're young, so you don't even get the wrinkle to begin with, right? But that doesn't mean that you can't get it if you already have wrinkles in place. It's just going to help soften them. So I would say it's my favorite anti-aging product, just because it is there's really not many contraindications to getting the treatment. Obviously, you can't have it done if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, and there are a few other medical conditions, but otherwise, it's pretty much everybody can get it. It's a quick in-office procedure. It's relatively, maybe a little bit uncomfortable. Everybody's pain tolerance is a little bit different, but most of the time you're in and out in about 10 minutes. And it's just a great anti-aging tool. And I think Donna and I are both kind of on the same page as far as wanting people to look as natural as possible and just kind of enhancing the natural beauty and preventing, again, the anti-aging process. So both of us are pretty conservative. With Botox, I always say less is more. We can be conservative. We can always add to, right? So kind of being more on the conservative side. Some people come in wanting that frozen look. So obviously you want to give your patient what they want. But we're always looking for natural results, just kind of enhancing you. Donna, would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything she said, I completely agree with. Yeah, we always say less is more. And the beauty about Botox is nobody ever knows that you do Botox. It's like nobody looks at you and says, I wonder if she normally has wrinkles. People just don't think that way. They're gonna wonder why you don't do it if you have wrinkles, but they never think it the other way. So I think if you do it, unless it's uneven or unsymmetrical or it's not done correctly, but the goal always is to make people look just very natural, make them look like that you still can have some movement, you can still have animation, you can still have all those things and just look like your organic self without the wrinkles. And to her point too, there the demographics I think are hilarious because they're all from 20s starting to 80s starting. I mean, there's really people of all ages and demographics. They all want to look their best, and people are living longer and they want to live their best lives. And I think it's great, and I love that we have this option. I mean, easy procedure. It's the number one aesthetic treatment in the world, and it's so easy and fun.
I can see why. It's definitely my favorite.
Yes, my favorite too, because no one believes I'm 35. So I'll leave that to good genes and drinking my water and Botox. So, and I think also with Botox, it adds to, good skincare, because, the days where I don't want to wear makeup, I feel like, Botox and good skincare makes me just naturally glow. I don't know if you ladies would agree,
of course.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest compliment people can get. They come back, they say, no one ever knows that I have it. They always say, oh, your skin looks good, or you look like you're well rested, or
yes.
It's refreshed. They're refreshed.
Right. And also, I mean, it's good. There's therapeutic Botox too. Like to your point, you were saying you do it for migraines, and people are doing it for TMJ and hyperhidrosis, excessive sweating, and pelvic floor. And there's just so many great treatment options that we can use it and are using it for.
Yes, and everyone can get it. Everyone, ladies, everyone, even men. Men can get Botox.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. The men are loving it these days.
Yeah, so don't think it's just for us. Beauty tip. All right, so I like to end my segment by asking this question. What 3 beauty products can you not live without? I'll start with Rachel.
I think we know my number 1. I'd say Botox.
Yeah,
for sure. Number 2, I'd say sunscreen, because I always tell people that Botox can be a little pricey. Definitely something you have to budget for. Sunscreen is not. Sunscreen is your cheapest anti-aging tool. Everybody should be using sunscreen. So that would be my number 2. Let me see. And a good eye cream. I blame that on my kids. I need a good eye cream to look well rested along with my Botox.
Love it. All right. What about you, Donna?
My best beauty advice, I would say number 1 is lifestyle modifications. Like you said, drinking your water, getting plenty of water, getting, good sleep hygiene, stress management, diet, all of those things contribute to our skin and how we look and how we feel. But in addition, sunscreen is, that's a given. Like everybody has to protect your skin, protect what we have. I like Latisse. I like the lashes. I'm a lash girl.
Okay. Yeah, your lashes.
Yeah. And I love filler too. We didn't touch on that much, but it's really great to like even just a little bit of filler in the lips, just enough just to take out the wrinkles. Not so much that you want to add huge lips, but just enough to give them a little bit of volume and make them look less dehydrated. And there's so much we can do with that now. The chin and the jawline and the just everywhere. The neck for a little neck lift. It's really, or the Botox for the neck lift. But there's so many things that we can do now with what we have. It's just really kind of fun and amazing.
Yes, I would definitely agree with filler. I already have natural full lips, but I've been getting lip filler since I turned 30, just because those lines you start to get. And I've loved it ever since, just for a little juiciness. Doesn't have to be the big lips, but just a little more juiciness every year.
Right.
around my birthday.
I always tell people, your lips get, like anywhere else in your body, gets thinner and they get wrinkled as we age.
Right.
And adding just a little bit of volume back into them makes them look just like they did, 2 years ago or 10 years ago. They don't have to be over the top large. I think people, when they think lips as lip filler, that's what they think.
Right.
And I always tell people, for every one of those patients, there's probably 100 patients that has it and you don't know it because it looks natural. And it looks
Yes. Like
Yeah.
me.
Can definitely be used as an anti-aging tool too, just to kind of, again, like refresh and enhance, because we
Yes.
lose collagen and elastin starting in our 20s, and that's where those little wrinkles come from, those little fine lines. So you can almost do it, in a very tasteful way, and just like
Right.
Donna said, just to kind of refresh, rehydrate, and not necessarily, because people are always coming in and they're like, I want to get my lips done, but I don't want to be huge. I don't want to look like a Kardashian.
Right.
We don't want you to look like a Kardashian either. We want you to look like yourself, just enhanced.
Yes, just enhanced. Well,
Yeah,
I'm super.
I always tell my patients, if you can tell someone's had filler, it probably wasn't done correctly.
Yes. Or the injector didn't tell them no. So, they over inject it, which I like when people tell me no, like, okay, Morgan, that's enough.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I'm super excited to try some other filler. I talked to Kamal, so we're gonna do a little chin and cheek pop, Rachel. So I will be seeing you soon and documenting that as well. But ladies, thank you so much. Can you let everyone know how to follow you, support you, book with you?
Yes, definitely. You can find us online. We have our website, hermdhealth.com. You can follow us at HerMD Aesthetics on Instagram.
And you can always call our office. Our office number is 513-404-4166. And that's the best way to just, speak to someone live, make an appointment, do a free consult.
Perfect. Thank you, ladies, so much. I look forward to working with you more. Dawn, I look forward to meeting you in person, hopefully sooner than later. And you ladies have a great holiday.
Right,
you too. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
All right, John, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thanks, Morgan. Well, everyone, that's it for today's show. You can find more information about today's topics and past podcast episodes at www.thecincinnatiherald.com, the SESH newsletter, or on our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And I also want to thank Andria for sharing her views on today's topics. Thank you so much, Andria.
Oh, thank you, John. Go Bearcats.
Yes, go Bearcats indeed. And remember, make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app. We're on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube, and TuneIn Radio. And in addition, make sure to check out the Ask Ashley book signing, which is happening on December 18th. Check out our social media channels for more information about that. And if you haven't checked out our Ask Ashley section, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and check it out on our website. She provides advice every week. I'm John Alexander Reese, and have a good day.